Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. Today is I Choose Me Day, which has been a very challenging and difficult path to get to that place. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I think a lot of us who come from a background of trauma have long been indoctrinated into sacrificing self for the betterment of others. As a child raised by a narcissistic parent, their needs take precedence. So for survival, one learns to constantly negate one's own emotions and thinking about things. I can remember, she used to always told me how I thought, which was always weird because I was like, but that's not how I think. She'd say, like, it's too bad you don't like so-and-so. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not how I feel at all. But there was like 0 point in negating her reality. Narcissists are storytellers. She was an amazing storyteller. Unfortunately, she used her gifts for evil instead of good, but she was great at concocting stories and concocting a reality that actually didn't exist. And nobody around her was allowed to question that reality that she presented. We all had to conform into that reality, because that's what a narcissist does. Is a narcissist it's like they create a script and they hand out roles, and I was the role of the scapegoat, and everybody has to adhere to the script. Therefore, everyone has to adhere to the emotions that are associated with that role, not with who or what you actually are feeling in a situation. So let's say you get bullied by them and you're upset about it. That's not an appropriate reaction to the casting that she wants to create. So then you get gaslit into don't be so sensitive, or you're being overly dramatic, or you're this or you're that. And so you quickly conform. Oh, okay, sorry. The director is telling me that this is the wrong emotional reaction to this experience, and I need to behave this way instead, or I need to think this way instead. And when you try to break out of that small container, there is punishment, or there is ridicule, or there is further bullying, or some means to batter you back into the role that you're supposed to play. And so I learned at a very young age that other people's emotional well-being was more important than mine. I was always in a state of hypervigilance to the nth degree. There used to be a show on TV, and I can't remember what it was, but it was all about watching people's micro expressions and telling whether or not they were telling lies. Something lie in the title, but anyways, that was me. I didn't go to CIA training, but I could observe micro expressions, and I could observe how somebody breathed, or I could observe how somebody walked, and body language. I was like, so like I knew if the eyebrow raised, that was get in line. I knew if the eyebrows with my father went in, that he was stressed about something. I knew that if her breath was held, I was about to get raged at. I knew that tone, the tone of voice. I could tell the variance of what tone was coming at me and what type of emotion that meant, which then meant, so step 1, read the energy, read the micro expressions. Step 2, conform. Conform. In other words, choose somebody else. Choose somebody else's interpretation of what you should think, feel, do. and negate self immediately. So if that breath was held and I knew rage was coming, then my next response was to get into a stoic stance, legs firm, butt muscles clenched, standing, immovable, because I knew I was about to get like blasted. And so I then immediately conformed my body, my energy, my emotions. Don't emote, don't emote, don't emote. Don't let her see you cry. Don't cry, don't cry, don't try, don't cry. I'd stand there like, don't cry, don't cry. Never worked, but I tried my best. It was almost like a survival technique to gray rock before I even knew what gray rocking was. It was like I knew when to shut up. I knew when not to speak my truth. She'd even, like, if I wasn't adhering, she'd tell me, I've had enough of this discussion. And so that would get shut down. I'm not hearing another word about that. So, okay. So I get really hyper reactive when people shut conversations down in the middle of a conversation. It is one of those things that's on my list that's intolerable, and I've ended friendships over that. If in the middle of a conversation you're like, I'm not talking about this right now or whatever, I'm like, there's a difference between saying, I need a pause. If somebody explains to me, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I need to take a step back, that's different. But to have somebody just go, I'm shutting this conversation down. My husband used to do that all the time too. It would just, conversation would end. And then all of a sudden, the next time you'd see them, they're in fine mood. And you'd be like, hey, wait a second. What happened to this thing that we were discussing and my feelings? So shutting down and then pushing your feelings away is a hard no for me that I have learned in the last 4 years through my awakening. And through my awakening process, it's all been about coming back into alignment with who I really am. First figuring out, what even are my emotions? If you've spent your life shoving them away to appease other people, to blend with society, to be socially accepted, to dress in a certain way, to talk in a certain way, to not move your hands in a certain way, to that's why cigarettes were so handy. You'll notice my hands are always on the go. And people would make fun of me for that all the time. And so smoking became a way to control that. And now I'm like, I do Latin language. I don't care if you think I do crazy things with my hands. As well as all the other crazy things that I do. So coming back into alignment with who you actually are was a little bit of a process. And that's like the first part of the journey is all about discovering who we are. And so that's one reason why Spirit, put me in this isolation tank in my timeout or my penalty box for so long, so that one, I could figure out who I was without a reference of somebody else as mirroring or telling me who I was or who I should be or what I should think or how I should feel, or somebody playing devil's advocate and this, that, and the other. So many voices in my past that I look to for reference of like, well, what do you think of this situation? Well, what do you think I should do? Well, please validate me, or please tell me it's okay to feel this way. Am I allowed to feel this way? It was a journey. It was a journey. And then once you discover who you are and how you actually feel and what you actually think and what you like and what you don't like from an internal reference point, we are then moved out of our penalty box and asked to go experience life situations outside of us that are going to test us with interactions with people to see if we've learned the lessons that is to stand in our own personal power and our own personal truth and our integrity and our authenticity and all of these things. So we're tested routinely. So throughout my awakening, I've had people come in and test, well, okay, what do you think about this? From like, an integrity point of view, what are you going to do? And then I'd be like, well, I'm going to stand on my own and stand up for what I believe in, which meant I lost some people. And then I'd have another interaction come up, and it was like my boundary was being crossed routinely, and it was causing me emotional upset. And so I had to learn to say, speak up and say, this isn't working for me. I'm not comfortable with this continual way we're doing things, which resulted in them going, and I was like, oh, okay. So I guess this is the lesson of what boundaries look like. This is the lesson of what saying no looks like. This is yet another lesson. And then I'd have another person come in and have an interaction. And they tried to place, judgment on me for making certain choices and certain decisions. And I was like, hey, wait a second. Oh, no, this is a lesson in, me not taking on projection. I've dealt with projection in the past. Now I'm learning this lesson. And I go like this when I learn these lessons, because it's not like, la-da-da-da-da, lesson happens, la-da-da-da, walk away. It's a challenge. It's a conflict. Conflict comes in to teach us things. And most recently, I'm dealing with this situation with my house, which is, all this conflict. And so for those of you that don't know, I have 3 soul kids that live with me, and I love them as if they were my own. They're young, in their 20s, and just kind of starting out, and came from their own situations, and so we've all been like learning together to interact in healthy ways, and so we've been tested most recently on communication. And now I'm also being tested as well as that my old go-to program, which is be the savior, save the day, fly in, fix people's problems, choose others over me. And it's been a little bit of a process of getting like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's this back and forth of, like, well, I'll save you and I'll fix it and all this, because I want to zoom in, because that's what I've always done. I've always tried to fix other people's stuff, because in fixing other people's stuff, it would potentially make the environment which I was in calmer and nicer for me. So I've done that with everyone my entire life. Every family member, I was, well, what do you need? And how can I help you? And what does your emotion require? And, oh, you're in a rage because you had a bad day at work. Okay, I'm going to make myself scarce and go over here. Oh, you're hungry? Okay, I'm going to go make you a sandwich because I want to do anything that's going to make you happy. And, oh, oh no, I'm just gonna like run or I'm gonna shut up is what I'm gonna do. So I've always been altering me to serve other people. And now in this situation, because I want to make sure that they're housed in a good situation, because I want to go live in my little micro house in the woods and be a fairy princess. As unrealistic as that may sound to some people, I don't care. I've spent my life catering to absolutely everyone else and trying to fix everybody else and trying to be there for everybody else. And in so doing, I've never been there for me. I've abandoned myself, so re-traumatizing myself with the abandonment wound. I haven't stood in my authenticity. I've tried to mask and be something that is palatable or acceptable to everybody else. And I've never, ever chosen me. I've never chosen me. I've always chosen somebody else. And it's funny in a weird kind of way. Funny, what the fuck, more than funny, haha, which is this entire awakening journey, is I can remember when, and this is important because those that are on this journey might resonate with this. So I had this twin flame situation come in, as I've mentioned before, and I don't really like the terminology twin flame, but it's the only thing I can use to kind of describe it. Although I think I'm renaming him actually from where I'm at now because it just works better. It helps me let go of the label as well as the story that's associated in the twin flame community, which I'm trying to step a little bit further back from and just be me and take what resonates with me and leave the rest behind. You know, there's a really staunch structure within the community that I don't buy into 100%. I'm not saying it's 100% wrong. Within anything, there's always truths and there's always some mistruths. There is nothing that is pure truth that I have seen. No book written by a man, including the Bible, is pure truth, although there are truths in it. No spiritual text, no individual person on this planet can be pure truth because there is always an element of shadow at play. So that's why it's really important in figuring out who you are is to figure out what resonates with you as truth and what resonates to you as meh, and you'll leave that. It doesn't mean you need to judge it. It doesn't mean you need to go like, you're wrong. No, it just means you're like, peace out. I'm going to go over here because this resonates more. So that's a little bit of a roundabout, but we like to go on roundabouts. So this twin flame journey came in and, you know, I met this person that I'm renaming as the Elf King, right? Since I'm going to create a future for myself where I am the fairy princess because I can write my own stories now. I'm in the process of putting down my armory, my warrior tools, which I needed. Being the warrior was a necessary part in this process of escaping. I'm just going to create everything in my own story now. She got to create her story. I can create my own story. So in my story, first I set off on this great adventure as, you know, the hero's quest where it's unbeknownst to the hero themselves. They have no idea what's waiting for them. And then along the way, they learn to become a warrior. Well, I became a warrior. I certainly trained like Rocky Balboa to get my body in shape. And I fought many, many battles with a sword in hand, with dark energies and everything else. You know, put my staff down and said to a few individuals, "You shall not pass." And I've had to do this along the way. And where I'm at now energetically is trying to move myself out of that necessary masculine energy of protector and fighter and always having something at the ready to like protect myself and put my weapons down and step into a much more feminine, giddy, fun, playful energy. That's what I want. That's what I see in my future is, you know, moving in. And I would never, if you had known the old me, I was not about fairy princesses. That was not who I was. I was about, you know, Doc Martens and Jane's Against the Machine and, and I'm like, I think I'd like to be a fairy princess now. So, long story short, or short story long, is I see myself moving into this. My dream is to move into this little micro house that I found in the forest that's got all these little fairy lights and a little fire thing. I'm going to look at the place on Saturday. I'm super excited about it. It's the first time I felt excited about something in a really long time. And where I was going is, you know, this is, I can remember when this, I'm going to call the Elf King, came in and did his little magic spell on me, which opened me up to me, right? And at the beginning, I didn't know what the journey was all about. I was really, really confused. All this magic happened and all this like, whoa, this is crazy stuff, feelings, this. And I can remember asking him to choose me. Choose me. Just choose me. And that stood out in my mind's eye for a very long period of time, because of course I felt like I wasn't chosen, and not understanding that what the magic was trying to teach me was for me to choose me. So when I was saying, because it's like a mirror soul, when I was saying choose me, I'm really actually speaking to my reflection. And that's why I kind of look at it as like the Elf King came in and did some magic. And although I was looking at the Elf King, what I was really looking at was myself. And that is the journey. The journey is the journey back to self, to choosing oneself. And in this process of choosing myself and creating these dreams, I have all these people over here that are like needing help. And I'm like, oh no, I better like not follow my dreams. I might have to find alternative plans. Maybe if I do this. And so I immediately went back into the knee-jerk reaction response of put other people's needs ahead of my own. And, you know, it boggles my mind sometimes how quickly we revert to the old neural pathways that have been long laid and long created. And I've been processing through and done a couple videos on the whole idea of self-sacrifice versus choosing self. And I keep getting the message from all kinds of sources and all kinds of places that, no, you need to choose you this time. That whole energy of choose me was me pleading with me to choose me. And this time I have to choose me. I have to choose that path, the path unwalked, the foreign path, as scary as it is to go into this, you know, enchanted forest and see what awaits me on my own, individuated, is where my soul is like calling me, is pulling me. It's like literally I can feel the pull from my chest. I talk about like the heartscape and the pains and the aches that you experience. It's literally like I've got a hook in here and I'm being reeled in whether I like it or not. And my old me is like reeling and pulling. I don't know if you've ever been fishing, but when you pull in a fish, it's not happy to be on the hook, you know? It's going this way and it's going that way. And so that's what my ego is kind of doing at the present moment of times of, oh, I need to like change my plans and look at different types of housing that will accommodate all of us. Or, oh, I need to like figure out a plan that's gonna like, not understanding that Little Miss Fix-It. So today we're talking about my shadow of Little Miss Fix-It. Little Miss Fix-It needs to sit her ass down, is what she needs to do, and have trust and faith that other people can manage their own life and be responsible for their own life. In me stepping up and fixing things for other people, and I have crossed boundaries left, right, and center. You know, I have one person in my life that I was very, very close, well, in some ways, to, and I crossed over a line trying to fix them and their problems and their addictions, and it wasn't welcomed. Oftentimes it's not welcomed. You know, trying to fix, I was indoctrinated as a child to fix and to make everybody else happy. So when I went out into my adult life, I thought it was appropriate to go make everybody happy, which meant I can tell you what's wrong with your marriage. I can tell you what's wrong with your eating habits. I can tell you what herbs you need. And people didn't like it very much. They didn't like it at all. In fact, they probably found it invasive, and it was stealing from them, robbing from them the opportunity to learn their own life lessons, to make their own mistakes, to you know, clear their own karma. I've taken on other people's karma, no doubt, thinking that's what I had to do, and I'm not doing that no more. I have to stop myself and police myself and say, wait a second here. Where they go, although I can be a backup plan, like in a support and you know, cheer you on, be a cheerleader, be you know, a support. It's not my job to actually lead others. It's my job to listen. It's my job to answer questions if they are asked, not give unsolicited advice. I was certainly guilty of that. So figuring out the boundaries of when you detach from enmeshment is a little bit of a process. I used to be a seamstress, and when you rip fabric, it's all frayed, you know, and that's kind of what ripping yourself free from codependency is. There isn't a nice clean line like scissors have come in and said, this is what the individuated you looks like, and this is the individuated me looks like, and this is the clean, healthy, precision cut of boundary in between. No, it's all frayed, and there's a string hanging here and a string hanging there, and it's running in over here, you know, it's a mess. And so that's a little bit of the legacy that's left behind with the fabric that is codependency. So codependency reared its ugly head again the other night to help me learn more lessons through the process of conflict, through the process of real, authentic communication that was absolutely beautiful, and through the process of, oops, I did again, knee-jerk reaction, I could do this, I could do that, I'll fix it, I'll save you. You know, I consider myself to be like a spiritual MacGyver, and I'll like, you know, come in and save the day, and then I'm like, whoa, Nelly, slow down. So yesterday I slowed myself right the fuck down because my hyper, get this house ready, gotta get it for sale, prepare, was causing its own stir. So instead of being the calm within the storm, I was the storm. And so it's necessary to take constant inventory of what it is we're thinking, what it is we're doing, how it is energetically we are being, and how that's contributing to the life lessons that Spirit has sent in for us, the conflicts, the confusion, the unknown, and navigate through as slowly sometimes as we can, even though it goes against our natural impulses to push through, to fix, to have a plan, to everything else, is to bring yourself back into presence and into the moment and into stillness. So yesterday I did nothing. Was my goal. I'm going to do nothing today. I've been as busy as a bee for the last few weeks prepping the house. The house is actually on the market today. There's a sign out front, and really, other than maintain where the house is at, there's not much more I can do. There's not pushing right now. The energy that is right now is waiting and receiving and allowing and going with the flow, even though the flow isn't at all a comfortable place for most of us. It is not. You know, I love people. They're like, just go with the flow. I go, well, I don't know. Maybe you have a paddle board, but have you seen my flow? There's a tsunami happening. There's a tidal wave coming in. This is whitewater rafting without a raft. Like, what flow are you on? But you just need to relax in it. Even if you were in like whitewater, if you fight against it, you're fucked. So the only thing you can do is let myself be taken, and also let others be taken, which is another deep message right now, is letting others be taken where they need to go, as opposed to, you know, if you were in white water, can you imagine trying to swim to save 3 other people? No. You need to say, I'm here. I love you. I got you. We'll see each other at the bottom of the rapids. Relax into it. Let your body be carried. Otherwise, you might hit a rock. Keep your head above water. We're all going down these rapids together, you know? So encouraging is not the same thing as saving. Even though I'd like to save everyone. See, that's the old warrior in me. I got this. I'll do it. I'll save it. And no, the fairy princess is on a leaf going, oh, my metaphors today are a little out there, but you know what? That's fine. I've decided that I'm going to have a little more fairy and a little less war. A little bit more magic and a little less fear and terror is definitely what's calling me, this pull. So in recap, I'm very grateful for the magic that came in from the Elf King. Thank you very much. If you're watching, I doubt you are, but anyways, and I'm also very grateful for the challengers that I've had along the way that have forced me to step into myself more and more. Even the challenger that is my ex, who, if it's you that's giving me all the thumbs down every time I mention having an abusive ex-husband, I know it's you. Go watch another YouTube. Seriously, go, be free. Leave me alone. I don't care. I'm safe in my knowledge of truth, and you know the truth too. But I'm grateful. So if you're watching, thank you for fucking with my head so severely that I put down my staff and said, "You shall not pass." Yes, there is no pass. No. Thank you to the friends that came in and left again. The challengers that came in and made me stronger, made me fight harder, made me see what I'm truly capable of. Thank you for all the fuckeries sent my way to make me a skilled, strategic warrior with a lot of strength and greater connection to spirit. Thank you to spirit for guiding me, protecting me, loving me when I didn't do any of those things. And thank you to me for doing it. At the end of the day, it was me who showed up for me every single day for the last 5 years, and me that walked, me that ate the right foods, me that prayed, me that meditated, me that grounded me. So I'm thanking me. I'm appreciative of me, and I am choosing me, and I am going to continue to choose me. And I am going to continue my mission to help you choose you. This is the you movement. So that all said, thank you everybody who watches me, and for the likes, the shares, the subscriptions, the donations. Thank you for those that join us on the Spiritual Warriors support group. Thanks for those of us that join on the Spiritual Warriors support group Zoom meeting. That's a really long name. Those are Wednesdays, held at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to join the meetings, hop on into the Spiritual Warrior support group or send me off a DM to let me know you would like the Zoom link. It's free, your first visit. After that, $11.11 is requested by donation. If you would like to book a one-on-one with me, who has successfully managed to navigate through all of these crazy things over the last 5 years, that is this twin flame journey, or spiritual awakening, or kundalini awakening, or hero's quest, or warrior's walk, whatever you want to call it or resonate with, I don't care. I can certainly hold space for you through all of the dark things and all of the releases, and help you navigate to choosing you over and over and over and over again until you get to be in alignment with your 100% truth. We are all walking this path together, and let's support each other on it. So let me support you, and you support me, and yay, it's awesome. So with that all said, I'm sending you all my absolute love and some fairy dust to go with it. Peace. In.